a community, and that's what we're striving for.
Welcome back to our third Regroup podcast, a chance for us to regroup as an ACU community. Hi everyone, and hi Father, how are you going?
Not bad. I'm doing all right. We are almost halfway through of the stage 4, near the end, and we hope that it goes well after this.
As we like to do each week, just a quick spotlight about what's been happening around campus ministry over the past couple of weeks. There's a lot been going on. We've had some really exciting collaboration events with the track and student enrichment. We did some trivia and some Uno, both really successful, really fun events. We've also had some great topics come up in Connect Group, things like resilience and aiming at our goals. One topic that kind of was really popular, and I think I'd love your thoughts on, Father, as well, is Julie's Connect Group on our universal call to love and looking at the 3 different types of love, agape, philia, and eros. What are your thoughts on the week that was and these 3 loves?
I really enjoyed the collaborative work with track and student enrichment. It's great. I didn't really be part of it, but I observed while you're playing. It was so fun. I couldn't really follow it up. You guys so quick. With love, yes, we have 3 different levels of or types of love, which is eros, philia, and agape. And we have a bit of a discussion around those words. And if I can summarize, yes, eros is the basic level of love, which is quite physical love, and we often express this between couples and human level. Whereas with philia is about more brotherly and sisterly love, that we as a brothers and sisters, we share this with a deeper level of love. And obviously we have the level of agape, which is the unconditional love that God gives us always, no matter what. And that's how our friend and our Lord Jesus Christ encourages us to share this agape, the unconditional love, which he has shown to us. And it was a great opportunity at the moment with this current environment, the very challenging and struggling even situation, that we can actually show this love with people who are less fortunate than us and amongst each other.
So just before we dive into the interview, I want to know what you guys are looking for. We'd love to keep adapting the podcast to make sure it's meeting the needs of what you guys want to hear about. So let us know either in the comments below or shoot us an email. We'd love your feedback. Now, let's dive into our chat with Claire. Today, we're joined by Claire from the LGBTQI+ community. Hi, Claire. How are you going?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Really well, thank you. Claire, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm Claire. My pronouns are she and her. I'm a part-time public health student. I'm studying my 2nd year subjects, but it's my 3rd year at the university. Outside university, I do volunteer work as a consumer advisor for a community health organisation and a women's health research group. I'm a big fan of the performing arts, especially ballet and opera. I love watching ice hockey and women's AFL, and I enjoy reading superhero comics. I've been spending my lockdown playing video games, baking, colouring in, and writing the beginning of a truly terrible romance novel.
I'd love to know what some of your favourite superheroes are and what you've been baking.
I really love superhero teams. I love the X-Men in sort of all their iterations. And I love groups like the Runaways and the Young Avengers. I actually really love Captain America. If I have to pick like a superhero, I'm a Marvel girl. So superhero team books are my favorites. And as for the baking, we've done chocolate chip cookies. We've made like a cobbler, so like a fruit pudding kind of thing, and we've done cupcakes, done all sorts of things.
Good on you. So you mentioned that you're working for public health. So have you always wanted to study about public health and community health?
Not at all. This is actually my third attempt at university. My first degree, which is what I grew up thinking I wanted to do, was a very short-lived attempt at a classical music degree. After that, I went on to study nursing. I absolutely loved nursing, but I got really sick and I had to drop out. And my health never really recovered enough to go back to the physical aspects of nursing. But I knew I wanted to stay in the health field, so I moved into public health, which now that I'm actually studying public health, it's actually a better fit for me than nursing was. So I absolutely couldn't imagine doing anything else now.
Thank you so much. That sounds like a bit of a journey to find your kind of calling in the studying fields. You also mentioned that you're part of the LGBTQI plus community. Can you tell us a little bit about how you got involved with that and what it's about?
So we're a society for the LGBTIQ plus community and also for allies on campus. I got involved, a friend of mine, there used to be a society and it sort of lapsed and there wasn't one for about a year. And a friend of mine was like, we have to start this up again. And she sort of dragged me into it. And here I am. For those people who might not be familiar with the whole acronym that we have there, it stands for lesbian, gay, bisexual, trans, intersex, queer or questioning. And the plus includes other identities under the rainbow, such as asexual or pansexual. I'm actually the president of the society. I just got voted in for my second term yesterday. And I think we're a really important club. We provide visibility, community and support for LGBTIQ plus students who often face a difficult time at university. We run social community building events regularly throughout the semester. And we also maintain an online presence where we link to events and news items happening in the broader LGBTIQ plus community.
How would you describe the LGBTIQ plus society in a word or phrase or sentence?
The word we use most is community. I think that's the most important word for us. So that's the one that I'm gonna go with, I think, is we're a community. And that's what we're striving for. Now, there's a perception that religious groups and community are not always welcoming towards LGBTIQ plus people. How do you perceive this and what has been your experience?
I think for me, I would say, although we may not agree on everything, on all our perspectives in life, but I think as Christians, we're always called to love and to create a space for people. So that's how I'll kind of tackle that question, but I'd love to hand over to Father to give a little bit more of an in-depth answer.
Sure. I think really sad that, and to hear that the your community or the community of the LGBTQI plus don't really see the religious group or even Catholic Church doesn't really receive these people well. But I actually don't think that way, because as Jake mentioned it, we are supposed to love each other and include who you are, and we are received as you are. But again, the noise that we hear from media and news is when there's a sort of conflict against each other's norms and identity and all this belief. Whereas at campus ministry at ACU, always open the door for everyone, doesn't really block because of your background, your choice. No, we are here to support you, whoever you are, but also create some atmosphere of welcoming and loving environment so that none of us are excluded. but because of some sort of noise that we hear from the media, that yes, we don't agree with certain things, and it's lack of communication and formation. But at the same time, we all try to assure you and make sure that our community at ACU, which is campus ministry, is trying to support individually and whole community in a general sense. So I think I met a few other members of the community, the LGBTQI plus community members, and we had a great conversation. And sometimes I feel like some of your community members didn't even want to come and have a talk. I think it's both sides of prejudice sometimes, because of this media or only the gist of what we have done together. People have that prejudice, okay, we don't like each other or we don't agree everything. I don't think that's the way we actually go through. We are here to support each other.
And I think even this podcast is a great chance for us to dialogue and have these kind of conversations and break down the barriers.
My understanding of the community of LGBTQI plus at ACU is to help, and as you mentioned it, to help and support those students in that situation who may face a lot of difficulties and challenges while they're in the university.
Yeah, absolutely. We sort of, I think there is a lot of what we hear in the media particularly is you hear the worst of everything. And so you hear the loudest disagreements between groups.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't hear about churches and religious groups welcoming people, because that doesn't sell stories. And you don't hear about religious LGBTIQ plus people, of which there are many, because that doesn't fit the narrative that people want to talk about. So, yeah, I think it's, I know that ACU, that we've got a lot of LGBTIQ plus students on campus, and I know that campus ministry is an important part of ACU's identity and culture, and I think that that's two groups that should be able to come together and communicate with each other, and I can't see any. Yeah, I think we should be able to speak with each other, and I think that we can, definitely.
For sure, and I'll show you that if you need any support or anything, please let us know. So that will lead to my next question, that do you have any upcoming events that you want to let people know about?
So we just had our AGM yesterday, so all our attention has kind of been focused on that. So we don't actually have any events approved right now on our timetable, but at our AGM we actually appointed our first events manager. So we actually have someone whose job it is to produce events for us now. So we're definitely going to be having some events coming up. We're planning to have like a games afternoon. The best way to find out what we're having is following us on social media. We have a Facebook group, which you can find by searching for ACU Melbourne LGBTIQ Society. And we're also on Instagram. But the Facebook group's the best place to find out about events. And yeah, so we don't have anything approved right now, but we're definitely planning things.
Wonderful. I'll make sure to link that in the description below and at the end of the video. So just want to say a massive thank you, Claire, for joining us today for our podcast. It's been great to have you and to have some chats, and hopefully you got something out of it. I know we definitely did. So thanks again.
Thank you so much. It's been great to be here and great to meet you both. Been fantastic.